Have you ever tried to call out a narcissist only to end up being the bad guy? Every time you try to expose them, they twist the story, turn people against you, and somehow make themselves the victim. It's frustrating, right? You see the manipulation, but no one else does. And when you try to reveal the truth, they make you look like the problem. But what if I told you that you don't have to confront them directly to expose them? What if there were subtle, strategic ways to let them reveal their own deception without ever realizing they're being exposed? In this video, we're going to break down the smartest, most effective methods to uncover a narcissist's true nature without putting yourself at risk. By the end, you'll have the tools to let them unravel all on their own, while you stay completely in control. Here's what we'll cover: the psychology behind a narcissist's biggest fear, subtle tactics that force them to reveal their own deception, the ultimate move that flips the script, leaving them completely exposed. So if you've ever felt manipulated, gaslit, or trapped in a narcissist's mind games, this video is for you. Before we dive into the strategies, let's talk about why narcissists behave the way they do, because understanding their mindset is key to exposing them effectively. A narcissist isn't just someone with a big ego. They operate on deep insecurity masked by arrogance. Their entire sense of self-worth is built on controlling how others see them. They crave admiration and fear one thing above all else: exposure. See, a narcissist thrives on manipulation, but their biggest weakness? They can't stand being seen for who they really are. The moment people start seeing through their act, their carefully crafted image starts to crumble. This is why they go to extreme lengths to gaslight you, making you question reality so they stay in control, shift blame because they can never be wrong, play the victim so they always appear innocent even when they're the cause of the chaos. And here's the real kicker: the more you try to call them out directly, the more they manipulate the narrative to make you look crazy. That's why direct confrontation almost never works. So instead, what if you could set up situations where they expose themselves without you ever lifting a finger? That's where we're headed next. Now that you understand how narcissists think, let's talk about how to make them expose themselves without direct confrontation. This is where the silent traps method comes in. Instead of calling them out, you set subtle psychological traps that force them to reveal their true nature. Here's how. The strategic silence trap. Narcissists hate silence. They thrive on drama and control. So when you stop reacting emotionally, they panic. Instead of arguing, just go silent. Watch how they squirm, trying to bait you into reacting. The more desperate they get, the more their manipulative tactics become obvious to others. The agree and amplify trap. This one is gold. When they try to gaslight you or make ridiculous claims, don't argue, agree with them, but take it up a notch. For example, when the narcissist says, "You're too sensitive," you can say,
"You're absolutely right. I should probably start ignoring people's feelings entirely. Maybe I'll just stop listening to anyone."
They won't know how to handle it because narcissists thrive on conflict, not agreement. The truth mirror trap. Narcissists project their flaws onto others. When they accuse you of something, flip it back subtly. When the narcissist says, "You always play the victim," you can say,
"That's interesting. I've noticed that people who accuse others of that often feel like victims themselves."
This forces them into a moment of self-reflection, one of the few things they can't stand. By using these methods, you don't have to expose them, they expose themselves. And that's just the beginning. Next, let's talk about getting others to see it too. Now that you know how to make a narcissist expose themselves, the next step is getting others to see it too, without you looking like the instigator. This is where the social exposure strategy comes in. Narcissists care deeply about their image, and the moment they feel like they're losing control of how others see them, they start to unravel. Here's how to use that to your advantage. the let them talk method. Narcissists love talking about themselves, so instead of calling them out, let them dig their own grave. Ask neutral, open-ended questions that lead them to reveal their own contradictions. For example, if they brag about how humble they are, just say,
"That's interesting. What's the most selfless thing you've ever done?"
and watch them stumble. The third-party perspective. Strategy. Instead of arguing with them, bring up their behavior in a way that makes others notice, without directly blaming them. For example, if they constantly put you down in front of others, laugh it off and say,
"Wow, you really love teasing me, huh?"
This plants a seed in people's minds, making them start questioning the narcissist's behavior. The pattern recognition. Trick. Narcissists are predictable. If they always react the same way in social settings, guide others to notice the pattern. Say things like, "Have you ever noticed how he or she always does this or that?" Let people connect the dots on their own. It's far more powerful than direct accusations. By using these tactics, you let their true colors shine without ever having to expose them yourself. Next, let's talk about how to outsmart them using reverse psychology. At this point, you've set the stage for the narcissist to expose themselves. But what if you want to completely outmaneuver them? This is where reverse psychology and playing the long game come in. Narcissists thrive on control, so the moment they feel like they're losing it, they become desperate. Here's how to use that against them. The fake agreement strategy. Instead of resisting their manipulation, pretend to go along with it. If they say, "I'm always right," respond with,
"You're absolutely right. You always have the best ideas."
They'll either feel suspicious or reveal their arrogance even more. The predict and preempt. Trick. Narcissists are predictable. They use the same tactics over and over. Instead of reacting, anticipate their next move and beat them to it. For example, if they're about to take credit for your work, casually mention to others,
"I'm excited to see how my project turns out,"
before they get the chance. The starve their ego move. Narcissists feed off reactions. If you stop giving them emotional responses, they lose interest. Instead of arguing, give them neutral, boring responses. For example, if they provoke you, just say,
Interesting,"
and move on. Over time, they'll become frustrated and expose their own toxicity. Now let's talk about the ultimate move, the final psychological switch that makes them unravel. You've set the traps, guided others to see the truth, and used reverse psychology to stay in control. Now it's time for the ultimate move, the final psychological switch that makes the narcissist completely unravel. The key? Indifference. Narcissists thrive on power, control, and most importantly, your reactions. The moment they realize they no longer affect you, they lose their grip. Here's how to execute this perfectly. The gray rock method. Instead of engaging with their drama, become emotionally unresponsive. Keep conversations short, neutral, and boring. Respond with one-word answers like,
"Okay, interesting," or "Sure."
Without emotional fuel, they lose interest and spiral. The disappearing act. You don't need a dramatic confrontation, just fade them out of your life. Stop sharing personal details. Reduce contact gradually so they don't see it coming. When they realize they no longer have influence over you, their facade starts to crack. Let them self-destruct. A narcissist exposes themselves when they lose control. Stay calm and watch as their desperation leads them to overplay their tactics. Eventually, everyone sees them for who they are, and just like that, you win. By now, you've learned exactly how to expose a narcissist without them ever realizing it. From psychological traps to social exposure, reverse psychology, and the ultimate move, You now have the tools to take back control. But here's the most important takeaway. Your energy is valuable. Don't waste it trying to change a narcissist or prove them wrong. The real power move? Walking away, staying in control, and letting them destroy their own image. Remember, narcissists hate losing control. When you stop playing their game, they spiral. The best revenge? Living well and moving on. If this video helped you, make sure to like this video to help others who are struggling with narcissistic manipulation. Subscribe for more deep dives into psychology, self-growth, and emotional intelligence. Drop a comment below. Have you ever dealt with a narcissist? What strategies worked for you? Your experiences might help someone else break free. Thanks for watching, and remember, your peace is worth more than proving a point. Stay strong, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next video.